GFL2. Hopefully today will finally end. Finally finish part 1.5. Hopefully. I hope so. Otherwise, things are going to get very cut on my eyes. Because of let me just finish setting up chat for me so I can read. Like this. There we go. Alright, I can start now. So, no more stalling. I don't have any announcements. I am just here to finish the story. Even started the stream 30 minutes earlier today. Just to be sure I'll have enough time to do so. Alright. Corposant, part 1.5. AA25. The world is a silent place. Embers. Ooh. Challenge. Oh, we are back. Straight back to Alva. Man, I know I already said a lot of times yesterday, but fucking damn it. I really want Chilovic dead. Like, really want her dead. I hope she dies. I hope I don't need to see her ever again outside of this event. But something tells me that might not be the case. Because if she's so capable of coming back from the dead like that, she's probably not someone who's easy to kill unless you destroy whatever the fuck is bringing her back, the machinery or whatever. Which she might have multiple spread throughout even yellow zones. Alva joyed awake, gasping for air, her body shaking violently, like a drowning person finally breaking the surface. Sweat soaks through her clothes, clinging coldly to her skin, making her shiver. She looks down and stares blankly at her drenched clothing in disbelief. Something feels wrong, unmistakably wrong. Yet, she can't quite put a finger on what. She places a hand against her soaked chest, feeling her heart hammering violently, as if it's about to burst free from her ribcage, its dull pounding echoing in her ears. I wonder what it must be for a doll to feel like a human. If RPK-16 were still alive right now, perhaps we could have asked her that. But it must feel slightly weird. Maybe it doesn't feel weird for us because we are so accustomed to it. It's like how you don't really think about how you breathe or how you walk. You just do it. So even though if we concentrate, we can feel our heart beating and the blood flowing through our body. We just grow accustomed to it. What? A heartbeat? She looks around in a daze and realizes she's sitting upright inside a train. The train is moving at high speed. Through the window she can see it's crossing a desert. Yellow sand stretches endlessly in every direction. Fierce winds howl, wiping sand into the air, blotting out the sky and turning the distant landscape into a hazy blur. The blazing sun scorches the earth, filling the air with dry heat as if trying to bake everything alive. The ground is cracked and barren, with not a blade of grass in sight. A hopeless desolation. Fissures crisscrossing the land like scars speaking of utter death. The scene is painfully familiar to her. She has wandered aimlessly through a world like this for a full 10 years. Countless battles, countless clashes, and all gradually forgotten in this contamination zone. Oh, she's actually here. Well, not the actual Voimastina, since this is a dream, right? But wait, so does that mean that eventually she's going to see AK-12 again? I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, right? Since both RPK-16 and Angie already appeared inside this dream. How are you doing? I'm doing fine, online resident. And stop calling me Kiru. Welcome to the stream. What does Voimastina mean? I have no idea, and that's actually a very good question. Hold on. But I doubt I'm going to get a straight answer. When I Google Voimastina, the first thing that appears to me is the character. Of course it is. Oh, it seems like it's an actual name. Oh, Yuzong said on stream that her Mandarin name comes from the Russian. Don't know how to pronounce that. War chariots, catch-all term for combat vehicles. Since the Mandarin pronunciation was then transcribed another time into English, and you get Voimastina. Oh, okay, so this is just a Reddit comic though. Let me see if there's an actual thing. Yeah, Voimastina doesn't seem like to be a real name. It seems to be something made up. And according to our Reddit comments, Yuzong, the CEO of Mika, and also the main guy behind GFL, the whole GFL franchise, he said on stream that her Mandarin name, I don't know how to pronounce that, I don't know how to read that, comes from Russian for war chariot, catch-all term for combat vehicles. Assuming the Mandarin pronunciation was then transcribed another time into English, and you get the Voimastina. That's the theory, apparently, according to Reddit. Voimastina, Voi Sailor. Voi can mean army in Slavic, apparently. Mastina, feminine form of mastiff in Roman adjacent language, is equal to a feminine big dog, guard dog. It seems there doesn't seem to be a very big consensus of what exactly her name means. But are very valid theories, I would say. Big guard dog of army, whatever. Interesting. You know, I never actually thought about what's the meaning behind her name. Because Voimastina to me sounded like an actual real name. But obviously it seems I was wrong. Voimastina's voice sounds beside her, breaking the howling silence. I love you in every universe, Acheron, shut up. This is not Acheron. This is not Raiden Mei either, okay? In case you know anything about Honkai Impact 3rd. It is soft and calm, devoid of emotional fluctuation, almost like an inorganic synthesized electronic tone. Voimastina is seated opposite her, cradling a massive anti-material sniper rifle. Even though the weapon's surface is rough and warm, it still reflects a harsh, piercing cold light. Alva remembers that back when Voimastina first realized her specs no longer gave her an overwhelming advantage over everything. She saw too many alternatives. This rifle was one of them. Even so, in this desolate world, even holding such a weapon, Voimastina's towering figure still looks so small compared to the desert outside. Insignificant, lonely, forlorn, as if forgotten by the world. Alva's lips are cracked. She opens her mouth and is startled by how hoarse her voice feels. She lifts a hand to her head and lets out a quiet sigh, trying to massage her temples to ease the stabbing pain. Only then does she notice her fingers trembling slightly, her palms slick with sweat. The sticky and stifling sensation is deeply uncomfortable. She takes a deep breath to steady herself, but ends up inhaling more dust, triggering a violent coughing fit. The image of Anje being swallowed by the tide of Aelids refuses to leave her mind, replaying again and again, tormenting her. And then there's RPK-16. Why was she the one who helped her, the one who stayed by Anje's side?
Anjeが夢に、夢の中でも私は守れなかった。
Sorry. The trembling voice, filled with pain and guilt, breaks as though she might cry at any second. Sorry, adjusted the audio on OBS a little bit because I was starting to hear echo. Whenever Alva thinks of Angelia, an indescribable sorrow surges in her heart, like it's being stabbed by a blade. Every time she looks back and remembers the first time they lost Angelia, she can't help but wonder if only she had been more perceptive and discovered the problem sooner. If only she had done a better job at protecting AK-12, so that she hadn't missed that decisive battle. If only. If only she had been stronger. If only she had made the right choices. Maybe none of this would have happened. Maybe Angelia would still be alive. Maybe Task Force D5 would still be whole. Maybe. But there are no maybes. Alva knows this. She knows it all too well. In this world... oh my god, sorry, I need to drink water. My throat got a little bit too dry and my voice failed me for a second. Alva knows this. She knows it all too well. In this world, there are no maybes.
ごめん。こんなこと言ってもしょうがないよね。こういう夢はあまり見ないから。つい。
She rarely has nightmares. You fail to drink water, your voice will fail you. Yeah. God damn, why my body needs so many nutrients? For fuck's sake, man. Why can't I just exist? Strictly speaking, she almost never dreams at all.
夢私が
That's right. She is just a doll. No matter how human-like she seems, she is still a doll. Dolls do not die, nor do they have heartbeats or nightmares. They do not sweat either. She stares blankly at her sweaty, sticky hand, her thoughts momentarily unraveling. Does anything happen at all? What is the meaning of life? Do not throw these big questions to me right now, online residents. I'm not ready to answer any of them.
よくわかってるじゃないか。
As Alva freezes in confusion, AK-12 suddenly speaks, her voice cutting cleanly through her thoughts. Her tone is completely different from before, cold and sharp, as if she has become someone else.
AK-15
今まで起きた。
Ah, that song again. You shut up. Shut up, online residents.
アンジェの死もパラデウスの暴虐も、そして私たちがここまで落ちぶれたのはお前のせいだ。お前が無能だからだ。
Alva's head jerks up and she stares wide-eyed at AK-12. 15, sorry. I keep saying AK-12. It's AK-15, who is now on her feet, looming over her, gazing down ruthlessly. Alva's pupils constrict in shock. She can't believe her ears. She even wonders if she's still dreaming, or if she's falling into another hallucination. Hallucination?
これはセカンダリレベルの幻覚だ。
また言い訳か。
As AK-15 looks at the shaken Alva, a smile so derisive it is utterly out of character appears on her face.
アンジェがいなくなってから私たちは何をしてきた。来る日も来る日もパラデウスに何の戦略的意義もない破壊工作を繰り返してばかり。それで何かが変わったか。10年経った今、奴らは依然存在している。基地を一つ潰しても新たに二つ作られる。私たちのしてきたことに何の意味がある。
Rising higher and higher, AK-15's voice trembles with rage, hatred, and despair. Even as Alva keeps telling herself that it is only an hallucination, her will still threatens to buckle.
どれだけの犠牲を払おうと、奴らを根絶することはできなかった。このままでは機能停止するまで無意な日々を過ごすだけだ。何の意味がある。
AK-15's voice has turned into a roar. Her words crash through the silent desert like a thunderclap.
いや、最初から意味などなかったんだ。この終わりのないループに陥ったのは他でもない。アルバ、お前のせいだ。違う。
Alpha covers her ears and screams in agony. She wants to run or fight, but she can do neither. She can't move. Her body feels nailed to the ground, heavy as lead, utterly immobile. An inexplicable terror envelops her, pinning her in place. A hallucination? Why is she so certain this is a hallucination? Who's to say the real Voimastina doesn't have such thoughts? At that moment, AK-15 suddenly begins to move. Her movements are slow, stiff, like a marionette pulled by invisible strings. Or a rusted machine that squeaks and groans with every motion. She leans in closer. Her face begins to change. As it twists and distorts, her features blur like a sketch rubbed away by an eraser. Her eyes hollow out, until they become black voids that seem to swallow everything. Her mouth stretches into a grotesque grin. Like a wild beast, she bears sharp fangs, sending chills down Alva's spine. That isn't AK-15. It is herself.
私の言っていること、本当は認めているんでしょう。なぜなら全部事実だから。あなたがずっと思ってきた事実。
The Alva before her reaches out and grasps her throat. With her airway cut off, suffocating panic floods Alva's mind. The world before her gradually darkens. Is this how it ends? The train horn suddenly blares. The train lurches and rapidly slows, and the Alva before her loses balance, releasing her grip. At the same time, a burly figure slams into Alva, sending her flying. The train screeches to a halt. Rows of doors click and slide open on both sides of the carriage. As Alva clutches her throat and coughs, Voimastina yanks her up from the seat.
行け。
She shoves Alva out of the train. Behind them, furious roars echo from within the carriage. The doppelganger Alva is now covered in grotesque scars that crisscross her face like countless knife wounds, hideous beyond word. Her bloodshot and bulging eyes, filled with hatred and rage, lock onto Alva as if she wants to devour her alive. Voimastina turns to face the doppelganger. She glances back at Alva one last time, then strides into the carriage and swings her fist at the grotesque doll.
全部全部全部あなたのせい。
That Alva begins to rupture and split apart into waves of aelids, crashing to the ground, snarling as they surge towards her. Alva feels her breathing quicken, but she must stay calm. She must not be deceived by the illusion. She must not let her emotions take control. She has to find the flaw in this hallucination if she wants to escape. She takes a deep breath and grips her gun in her hands tightly, feeling the cold solidity of the weapon, forcing her emotions back under control. The train doors close and the train begins to move again, carrying away Voimastina and the grotesque Alva, while the tide of aelids that spilled outside rushes towards her. This is a battle she cannot afford to lose. If she loses, she'll be trapped in this illusion forever, never escaping, forever living in pain and self-blame, with no chance of redemption. Come on, Alva. Come on, come on. Fuck, I need to do voiceovers. It's your fault. It's all your fault. Oh, yes. It's all my fault. Why I can't die here? There are too many things that I need to do first. Bring it. Thankfully not as cringe as it used to be. Thankfully. Let me see, Alva. She can do this alone, right? Probably. She has AoE attacks, it should be fine. There we go. Deal with the frogs first. And then kill the bear. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about the wind mechanic. Okay, now... Oh my god, her AoE is so big. I love it. Kill these guys. Ow. And it's over. Alva opens her eyes. She's sitting in a vast desert. Some distance away, the house of an elite horde foretell the immense battle. And just when she's about to run out of ammo, Angelia will come to rescue her. She just has to accept the fact that she will never be able to pull Angelia onto that train. She will be ushered onto the train by RPK-16, then expelled from the same train by AK-15, only to start waiting for Angelia's arrival again. How many times has she repeated this cycle? Alva has lost count. She recalls what AK-15 just said.
この終わりのないループに陥ったのは他でもない。アルバ、お前のせいだ。
She lowers her head. What she is experiencing here is exactly the same as what she was been doing in the past 10 years. Going in an endless circle in a place that defies description. Together with the hulking doll, they have wiped out Paradise again and again whenever it appears in their sights. Yet, as time goes on, the intelligence they receive leads them to a desperate conclusion. Paradise is reviving in some form, and that revival is accelerating. With her assistance and the support of their former comrades, Alva and Voin Mastina have both grown significantly in strength. But even so, the day they can fulfill their former leader's wish seems to be drifting further and further away. This place is both a nightmare and a reenactment of reality. Alva opens her palm, which reveals a small cube. That cube appeared in her hand when she got off the train for the first time. Alva peers at the glowing cube, yet still shakes her head, Even if this is only a nightmare, Angelia's appearance has given Alva a second thought. But she knows she can no longer hesitate. Something has to change, Alva thinks. After a brief pause, she touches the cube with her fingertips. Oh my gosh, I knew they would have to show her eventually. AK-12. The first side of AK-12 in GFL2. I wonder if 10 years later she still has that Paradise frame. She's still using that Paradise frame. She hated the body, but well, according to Paradise, it was the latest model that they developed. So it should be very, very powerful. The cube emits a faint glow. A blurry figure gradually takes shape in front of her. Oh my gosh, she's a voice too. So awesome. Sorry. Alva stares blankly at that familiar yet somehow distant face. It has been 10 years since she last saw her in this form.
まさかこんな時まであなたに頼ることになるなんて。私のことが意外？でもここにあるものは全部あなたが作り出したのよ。
AK-12 casually looks around before letting her gaze settle back on Alva.
私がいるとあなたの防壁は脆弱になる。本当にいいの？知ってる。ただあなたに会いたかった。相変わらず甘え上手ね。
Eu vou chocar.
せっかくあのキューブ、あいつが助けてあげたのに。私は。
A gentle smile graces AK-12's face. Her eyes remaining closed.
本当は自分でも意味がないって分かってるんじゃない？意味がないとは思ってない。じゃあどうしてまだここにいるの？
Oh my god, so many tracks from GFL1 being brought over here again. This one is from which event? Is it from the Cartesian Theater event? I actually don't know.
私は正しいと思うことをやってるだけ。でも何が正しいのかだんだんわからなくなってきた。何かを変えることができたのか。隊長としてアンジェの意志を告げられたのかもわからない。自分が信じられない？人形なんだからそんなこと考えても無駄よ。なのにそれでメンタルを蝕まれて。私はただアンジェの目的を果たせないのが怖くて。じゃあアンジェの目的は何だと思う？パラデウス、そして自分のために遺跡を利用しようとする人間の根絶。本当にそうだと思う？
うん。
アンジェはあなたに本音を言わなかったんだ。
アンジェ。 Ange was a complicated figure. I mean, I thought I would, I thought I could understand Ange until the point where her dedicated event drops, and we got to her whole backstory and her relation with Laplace. Ange was such an interesting character. There was one guy. I have such a pity for him. Ange was his wife, you know, but then after she died, you can see that the guy got really, really sad. I still see some Ange fan art here and there though. Like there is one account called, I think, Blue Blossom, who makes a lot of Ange fan arts. Still makes them. Why is she evil? Evil? Who? AK-12? Ange? None of them are evil. None of them are evil. They're good people.
あるいはあなたの一方的な願望かもね。アンジェは失敗の決まった道で倒れた。なのにあなたたちは今もその後を追っている。彼女は叶うあてもないほど壮大すぎる理想を抱き、
For
それを
now?
受け継いだ
No.
者は理想の中身すら知らない。
Unless AK-12 has a massive change of her character, she's not going to be evil. Well, I have to admit though, this is an illusion of AK-12. It's not the actual real one. So yeah, this one could turn evil the same way that we have that doppelganger of Boy Mastina, and which eventually became a doppelganger of Alva. So there is a possibility that this illusion of AK-12 can become evil, but AK-12 herself, I doubt it. I very, very doubt it.
暗闇の中で光を追ったつもりが、その光の下は断崖絶壁だった。あなたたちもそこから落ちるつもり。10年経っても何も変わらなかったのに。
どうして私が今もここであなたの話を聞いてるかわかる？
どうして？
あなたの言ったことは全て私の本心だから。
The smiling AK-12 gradually turns into Alva.
そして同時に私が克服すべき弱点でもある。アンジェがどうして諦めなかったのかずっと考えてた。私はアンジェの言葉を思い出したの。もし人生が徒労に終わる定めとしてあがく意味はどこにあるのかしら。今の私じゃまだ答えは出せない。多分アンジェも同じ疑問を自分に投げ続けてきたんだと思う。そしてアンジェの答えはその答えを一生かけて探す。そう希望が見えなくても変わる日まで進まなくちゃいけないの。確かに私はアンジェの本当の理想がわからない。でも私たちが諦めさえしなければ彼女の意志は生き続ける。抗い続けることが反逆の誓いだから。
The Alpha before her smiles serenely, finally at peace.
選択には代償が伴うし、アンジェはそれを払った。あなたは代償を払う準備ならできてる。じゃああなたの実力を試させてもらうよ。
Alva began to split apart, rupturing into hordes of Aelids that crashed onto the ground, snarling as they lunged towards her. But now, Alva is no longer stricken with panic. She simply tightens her grip and raises her weapon, aiming it at the Alva before her.
時間をかけすぎた。後でボイマスティナに謝らないと。何があっても私は進み続けるしかない。そうですよね、アンジェ。戦闘終了。脅威は全て排除しました。これで先に進みます。
So many throwbacks to GFL1. This event is good. This event is good. You're getting character developments. Well, right now mostly from Alva, but we got a few character developments from Boy Mastina, which even in GFL1 was still a bit, what should I say? One-dimensional character. Ow. Man, the wind mechanic is so annoying. But right now, at least we got a little bit of more developments about what Void Mastina thinks, what she values more, those types of things, her ideals. I hope we're going to get to explore more of that in the future of this event. Having her have more interactions with Elena and a bigger participation in the story. Which, by the way, we haven't touched the Elena matter for a long time right now, so far. Oh, there goes the bear. Bum, bum, bum. Eventually we'll have to get back to that. But I imagine they are probably saving it for the end of the story, since it seems like the Elena is going to be a very important piece in the whole plot of this event, especially considering her apparent importance towards the Project Eden. My god, the wind mechanic is so annoying. It's here just to delay me or to just kill me by making me fall into a hole if I do not pay too much attention to my position in the map. And it's over. I think. Oh, there's one more? Where? Oh. Oh, I see. Die. Stupid frog. The deserts, the yellow sand, the campfire, and the endless Aelids all vanish without a trace. All that remains before her eyes is a vast expanse of pure white. Her neural cloud is no longer at the mercy of hallucination. It calmly awaits the final conversation. Alva looks up at the sky. There is no sun, no moon, no stars, only a pristine whiteness, like an immaculately spotless city, I wanna vanish too. Hey. Calm down now. Calm down now online, right? Let's not do anything rash. Okay, let's not make rash decisions. Come on now. No one's gonna vanish here. She looks around in confusion, sensing the stillness of this world. When she first opens her eyes, the surrounding white seems shrouded in a thin mist of vapor. As she begins to observe more closely, that haze slowly fades away.
Oh.
Even though everything remains flawlessly white, Alva has already recognized it. She is in that mansion. Oh, don't tell me. The carpets, the walls, and the furniture, all white, blend perfectly into the white background. However, if one looks carefully, their shapes can still be discerned through light and shadow. If she were equipped with Wolf-Eye, she would have figured it out much more easily, Alva thinks.
やっと来たわね、アルバ。
Bringing up Angelia again.
アンジェ。
What the? As if she has known Angelia would appear all along, Alva turns towards the source of the voice. Angelia is wearing a long, pure white dress, almost completely merging with the background. Only her familiar face and confident smile stand out clearly. She looks more mellow than Alva remembers, without a trace of battle left upon her. Alva is slightly taken aback by Angelia's unfamiliar appearance. Angelia steps forward lightly and reaches out to stroke Alva's cheek. The sensation is warm and real.
久しぶりね、アルバ。
Seeing Angelia dressed like this fills Alva with an inexplicable sense of familiarity and comfort. She doesn't know what to say. She can only keep drinking in the sight of Angelia, as if trying to etch this image deep into her neural cloud.
10年ぶりかしら。
It has to be another reconstruction of someone else through Alva's memories. This is not the real Ange. The real Angela died long ago, in a horrible manner too. She got absorbed by the... Actually, never mind. it's quite of a big deal. Maybe I'll risk spoiling it. You like drawing, but it's also a pain in the ass. My back matches the golden ratio. Isn't that a good thing? I heard the golden ratio is such a beautiful form. It's supposed to bring beauty. That's where Elsa from Frozen disappeared too. Oh, Hi, hello, it's Adrian-sama. Welcome to the stream.
はい。一瞬だったわね。
Hi from Mommy Boy Master na Penzlon. Come on. Hey. Boy Master is not even in the screen right now. my back is beautiful. I sit like a shrimp. Yes, yes it is. Call me Adrian. Lol. Okay, alright. Welcome to the stream, Adrian. Angelia scratches her head with a self-mocking smile, unsure where to begin.
どう？みんな元気？
Alva wants to speak, but it feels as though something is lodged in her throat. She gazes at Angelia, a flood of complex, indescribable emotions surging within her. Angelia takes Alva's hand and leads her slowly through the pure white mansion. Alva steadies herself and tells Angelia about Task Force DeFi's battles over the past 10 years, about forming a new radical organization, about dismantling Paradise spaces, one after another. Ange simply listens with a smile as 10 years worth of words gush out of Alva all at once.
ケビンもネーレも助けてくれました。
Oh, we gotta mention about Nelly as well. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I found something interesting, a picture meme between Void Martin and Alva. I'm sure there has been a lot of memes being made right now. Sadly though, I try to avoid anything really, any comments related to the chapter to avoid spoilers.
潜水艦基地で助けた子供のことを覚えていますか？
私と同じ名前の子？
Man, it feels so weird to to hear Angelia's voice. I know. Have we ever heard Angelia being voiced before? No, I can't remember. It feels so weird to me. So I don't know how to explain.
はい、アンナです。成長して今やもう一人前に。一緒にいた子供たちも元気です。
そう、よかった。
Suddenly, Angelia stops walking. She turns to Alva and asks her, in the same casual tone one might use to ask what to eat for lunch.
あれば、この10年で諦めようと思ったことはないの？
どうしてそんなことを？
Also, I gotta say, what's up with this whole situation right now? What's up with this whole Harry Potter ass situation? Like when Harry died, it then went to the, I don't know what they call it. I would call it the in between and found the spiritual of Dumbledore there. What that? It feels so much like this because on the book, the station where he was at was also described as white, completely white. All that is missing right now is a little Voldemort equivalent. Just laid down on the ground in a fetal position. That's all that's missing right now. This whole thing feels exactly what's happened in the Harry Potter books.
パラデウスは巨大すぎるわ。根絶するなんて無理かもしれない。すべてを投げ出すのも選択の一つよ。
Bald Zoro will appear. Shut up.
と言っても、あなたは聞かないでしょうね。
はい。私はまだ止まるわけには
Before Alva can finish, Angelia gently pulls her into an embrace, speaking in a voice like she's soothing an exhausted child to sleep.
あなたたちに何もかも押し付けて申し訳なく思ってるわ。この10年辛かったでしょう。
Alva doesn't reply. She just holds Angelia tightly.
それでもあなたたちはここまで来た。見違えるように頼もしくなって安心したわ。
Man, this Angelia feels so sweet. The Angelia that I remember, she was a good person, right? But she was a little bit more rough. A little bit more, how should I say, direct, slightly brutish. This one is so gentle, it almost feels like... It almost feels out of character. To me, at least, from the impression that I get from Anje. Reluctantly, Alva lifts her head. After a long while, she whispers something so softly, it's almost inaudible.
もしあなたが生きていたら。
私もあなたたちのそばにずっといたい。でも受け入れるしかないのよ。一番大変な時なのにごめんなさい。
いいえ、昔一緒にいてくれた。それだけで十分です。
そう。でもいつまでも私を引きずらないで。メンタルをすり減らしてまでこんなシミュレーションをして。
アンジェ、私はどうすれば。諦めたくない。けれどどうすればいいか分かりません。
私も同じよ。今のあなたは私なんかよりしっかりしてる。あの時の私も同じぐらいしっかりしてたらこんなことには。冗談よ。
アンジェ。
でも一つだけ忠告させて。
忠告？
私の影を追わずに自分が正しいと思ったことをして。私と同じことに執着するのが意志を継ぐことじゃない。自分だけの目標を探して。
私の目標。
昔と同じことをすればいい。この10年たくさんの人を救ってきたんでしょ。そのためにしたこと後悔していない？
するわけがないよ。
なら救い続けなさい。あなたの力で。答えが見つかるその日まで。大丈夫、きっと見つかるわ。私たちはそうやって進んできたじゃない。あなたたちがいる限り悪人どもも好き勝手できないわ。思う存分反逆しなさい。
Get it? Get it? Because it's Steam, DeFi, and she's gonna go ahead and keep defying, then haha, get it? So fun. Sorry. See, she finds it funny. Alva chuckles in relief, and Angelia laughs along with her.
いつか必ず奴らを根絶やしにします。
ええ、楽しみにしているわ。
Angelia stretches, walks a few steps forwards, then turns back to look at Alva.
そろそろね。私らしくないことをいっぱい喋ったけど、私は私じゃないしね。
I thought so.
でも、私が伝えたいこともきっと同じよ。今の私ほど優しく伝えられないかもしれないけど。
I know, right? I just commented about that a few moments ago. This Angelia here feels a little bit too gentle. It doesn't really fit the image that I had of Angelia during the OG Girls Frontline game.
帰り道、わかるわよね。
はい。
Alva takes out the cube. Before activating it, she prepares to say her final goodbye, Angelia.
アンジェ、話せてよかったです。
あなたの防壁を突破するための演算力を逆に利用してこんなことしてると分かったら怒るわよね、あなたの敵。
Alva laughs and shakes her head.
彼女のおかげです。
そうね。あの子たちにもよろしく伝えといて。
はい。
Alva opens her palm. The cube glows brightly. She closes her hands. When she opens it again, the cube has transformed into a familiar MP443.
元気でね、アルバ。
さようなら、アンジェ。
Alva raises the pistol. In the sight, Angelia smiles and waves at her. As Angelia falls, her body dissolves into countless specks of light. The white space finally fails to hold, collapsing in vast how do I pronounce that? And revealing the endless darkness beyond. Before everything returns to nothingness, Alva seems to glimpse a blurry figure standing in the distance. Now that's more like the Anja that I remember. Look at her. So rough. The figure simply nods once, then turns away, fading away along with the collapsing white world.
ありがとう。私は進み続けます。ハンジェ。戦闘終了。脅威はすべて排除しました。
That was cool. That was cool. It was a nice arc for Alva. Nice arc for Alva. A big jump in character development. It was nice. Nicely done. Nicely made. Magnum Opus AS25. If even our ambitions do not align, then how long can we remain comrades? Go. Whose POV is this going to be? Are we going to keep going with the Alpha POV or are we going back to the commander? We are back to Alpha. The familiar hum echoes in her ears. The sounds of countless instruments and machines interweave into an endless industrial symphony. Inside the hibernation capsule, the cold touch of metal presses in from all sides, binding Alva tightly and leaving her unable to move. Alva slowly opens her eyes. Her vision shifts from a blur clarity. The scene before her is no different from before. She is in the same narrow, specially designed capsule, with the same busy marionette doll researchers milling about outside. And through the observation window, legs crossed as she perches on a high stool, is Chilovak. This bitch needs to die so much. I want her dead. I want her dead so fucking bad. At this point, I had enough of them. Enough of her. Chilovak springs up exaggerately and scampers to the observation window, pressing her entire face against the glass. Her distorted grin looks eerie and slightly comical. She taps the glass with a finger, as if knocking on a fish tank. She suddenly falls back a step, cupping her face with one hand, eyes wide. I want her dead so bad. I want her dead so bad. Chilovak spins as she talks, making a little gesture beside her temple to convey how mind-blowing she finds the situation. Then abruptly freezes. She bends down and presses her face close to the window. She bares her teeth in a wide grin, then suddenly slumps in disappointment, letting out an exaggerated sigh as her shoulders droop. She traces shapes in the air, as if assembling an imaginary jigsaw. She shrugs, then abruptly puts on an expression of sympathy, blinking her big eyes and pouting her lips in an exaggerated manner. She strikes an over-the-top pose in apology, right hand to her chest, left hand drawing circles in the air. He presses a finger to her lips in a conspiratorial, shushing gesture. Oh my god, I want her dead already so bad. God fucking damn it, she talks so much and she's such a bitch. Sorry. She makes a throat-slitting gesture, sticks out her tongue, then breaks into giggles. Alva merely watches her manic display in silence, her eyes utterly flat.
おっといけない。イグラのことで熱くなっちゃった。
Chilovek suddenly stops and lightly smacks her own cheeks, as if admonishing herself.
主役はあんただもんね、アルバちゃん。
She smiles sweetly, licking her lips as her tone suddenly becomes low and enticing.
意識が戻ったのは予想外だけど、奇跡はそう何度も起きないよ。
She leans against the observation window, fingertips gliding lightly across the glass.
ちょっとはあんたの秘密話してくれる気になったかな。
She tilts her head, her voice almost coquettish, yet a dangerous glint shines in her eyes. Alva doesn't answer right away, even though she senses that she has regained the ability to speak, whether because her condition has improved or because Chilovek has disabled some restrictions. She doesn't know. Regardless, she simply stares at Chilovek. Her gaze is utterly calm and still, like stagnant water, without the slightest ripple.
チェ、これくらいじゃダメか。
Chilovek pouts and stomps her foot like a child denied candy. Then, her expression rapidly shifts. She leans close to the glass, a cruel smile spreading across her face.
ま、死すら知らない化け物だから。当然じゃ当然か。
Look who's talking, fucking bitch. Alva's eyelids twitch.
私から何を聞き出したい？ボイマスティナと O43 の居場所なら今やお前たちの方が詳しいはず。反逆正体についてならパラデウスはすでに十分把握しているはずだ。お前たちと違って私たちは正々堂々表で動いているからな。
なんなん勘違いだぞ。
Chilovek wags a finger and prances away.
そういうのはイグラしか興味ないから。
仲間じゃないのか。
ちょっと違うかな。私たちはただ利害が一致しているだけ。ナゲットとポテトはセットで出てくるでしょ。あ、ちょっと違うか。まあそんなもん。
She wags a finger like a strict teacher, even though the analogy might have as well come from a child.
てなわけだから仲間じゃないね。私はイグラの腕っぷしを、イグラは私の頭脳が欲しいだけ。
私には十分仲間に聞こえるが。
志も違うのに。
Her smile suddenly vanishes. Her tone turns grave.
反逆正体は利害の一致で集まったわけ。
Alva lifts her head slightly. Since their encounter at that base, this is the first time she truly meets Chilovek's eyes.
じゃあお前の志は何だ？
Chilovic snaps her fingers slightly, and her grin reappears. With that gesture, the marionette doll researchers bustling around the lab all freeze, turned and stared at Alva with hollow eye. They stand in perfect unison, like soldiers awaiting orders, silently watching her. An oppressive presence. Chilovic slowly walks back to the observation window, her voice dripping with temptation.
私は喋るの好きだし、いろいろ知ってるけど、あんたたち反逆正体のことはまだよく分かってないんだよね。あんたたちがパラデウスに対して変質的とも言える恨みを抱いているのはわかる。でもその理由がわからないし、知りたい。
Her tone grows somber, and a fanatic's light blazes in her eyes.
パラデウスのやろうとしていることは、現人類が到底たどり着けない領域なんだよ。
Of course you think that. Of course you do. She throws her arms wide as if embracing the entire world.
生命の神秘、進化の奇跡。まるで魔法のようだけど、科学そのものなんだ。
For how much longer will I need to keep hearing this bitch talk? Her eyes gleam as she stares into empty space.
その過程にわずかな犠牲があっても、結果オーライならどうでもよくない？ケーキを作るのだって卵を割らないといけないし。
She mimes cracking eggs, then lifts her head as if presenting an invisible cake.
人類を次のステップに導いて新たな世界を作るんだよ。
I hope she dies, I hope she dies, I hope she dies, I hope she dies, I hope she dies. She pauses, her tone softening, like she's speaking to a lost child, though the fever in her eyes remains.
そしてアルバちゃん、あんたはその世界の一員になれる。これだけ計り知れない潜在能力とメンタルを持ちながら、古びた体と無意味な恨みにとらわれちゃって。
Blah 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 blah.
本当に惜しい。
Blah 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 blah. Just the classic parodies. Blabbering. Pilovig theatrically wiped away non-existent tears, lamenting Alva's incomprehensible choice.
チャンスをあげる。過去から抜け出して未来へ進むチャンスを。私と手を組んでくれたら、あんたが絶対に叶えたい願いを叶えてあげよう。
願い。
それはね、ただ
Who is she going to bring back from the dead now?
あんたたちのかつての指揮官。
Of course. I want her dead. I want her dead. So fucking.
アンジェリアを生き返らせちゃうぞ。
She drags out each syllable, her voice tantalizing. At the sound of Angelia's name, Alva's pupils contract sharply.
私が生き返るとこ見たでしょ？しかも2度もだよ。
She grins as she mimes clanking her way out of a grave.
10年経っちゃったけど、アンジェリアの人格データはパラデウスのデータベースにあるから大丈夫。
Of course they did that. Okay.
他のメンバーはどうでもいい。あんたさえうなずいてくれれば、アンジェリアはすぐにでも帰ってくるよ。私の知る限りだと、彼女の死がパラデウスへの恨みの根源だからね。どう？これ以上ないウィンウィンだと思わない？
I want her dead. I want her dead. I want her dead. Chilovig sways smugly, watching Alva's reaction, convinced she struck her weakness. But little did she know, Alva just went a character development just on the past stage. Come on, Alva.
本当にできるのか。
Chilovig's eyes light up, a satisfied smile spreading across her face.
もちろん、このチルロビグに二言はないよ。
She places one hand over her heart and raises the other high in solemn oath.
そんな保証はどこにある？王43を手に入れるための嘘とも考えられる。お前とイグラの会話は聞いていた。楽園計画の完遂がお前たち共通の目的。それより私を引き入れる方を優先するのか。
Alva's voice trembles slightly, though she tries to keep it steady. She peers at Chilovig with a mix of hope and doubt, waiting for an answer, seeking confirmation that the woman before her is telling the truth. Chilovig slaps her thighs and bursts into exaggerated laughter.
私を誰だと思ってんのさ。マルチタスクくらい余裕余裕。あんたを味方につけることも、楽園計画を進めることも同時にできるんだから。
楽園計画の実態は何だ？
へえ、そんなに知りたい
？She arches an eyebrow, sorry, leaning forward as if sharing a grand secret. In her eyes, Alva has clearly been shaken by the offer and is starting to waver.
しょうがないな。じゃあ、ちょっとだけ。
She steps closer to the observation window, lowering her voice.
楽園計画は人類に変革をもたらす計画。
Wow. He said a whole lot of nothing.
蝶を誘うある花を使って、
Okay, here
前
we go.
人未到の新世界へ。
A flower that draws butterflies, obviously epithelium. Get a glimpse of a new world no one has ever set. I'm worried about the second part of this phrase. I don't know if she means it figuratively or literally. I hope it's not the latter.
戦争も病も痛みもなく。
She wants to open the Nirvana. I don't trust Chilovig. Good. Good. Don't be like Igla. That's stupid. Still a little pissed about about that. About how the last stream ended. She probably wants to open Nirvana, doesn't she? Most likely. I am busy with something, so I won't be yapping much. Oh, don't worry about it.
幸福と永劫だけがある世界へ訪れる。
Yeah, right. She spreads her arms and closes her eyes, as if already seeing it.
誰もが肉体から解き放たれ、永遠の命を得られて。
Yeah, I know exactly what they want to do. I just don't know exactly how they're going to do it.
誰もが夢を叶えられる無限の可能性を秘めた世界へ。
Stop wooing. God fucking damn it.
それを叶える鍵として花が必要なんだよね。
Oh, you see, the flower is not a literal flower. She's probably referring to Elena. Be the essential key to open the door. Yeah. I think I understand what's going on. I get it. The door. We have seen the door before. Refer how Elena herself even referred to the door before. Yeah, they want to open a door to Nirvana. She needs to die. She really needs to die. Her eyes snap open and blaze with fanatic light. He has revealed another new her. Key.
分かってくれた？そろそろ答えを聞かせてほしいな。
Chilovek smiles faintly, tossing the key, quote unquote, towards Alva. She doesn't notice that while she was busy making her impassioned speech, Alva's gaze has already grown cold. The faint hesitation has vanished completely, leaving only scorn and fury.
それはまた随分と偉大だな。だから王43を利用して遺跡の扉を開くつもりか。モルスカヤズビズダーを小型化したものを作ったのか。道理で大量のコーラプス粒子が必要なわけだ。遺跡の作り出すあの空間、何に使うつもりだ。
Alva's rapid-fire questions catch Chilovek completely off guard.
あんた。は、どうしてそれを知ってるわけ？
Well, you see, Chilovek. Chilovek's smile freezes, shock and anger flashing across her face. She rushes to her terminal, only to discover the central system firewall has already completely failed. That's when it dawns on her. Alva has infiltrated the servers. She may have read all the classified data.
バカにしてるの？
Well, what do you think of that, bitch? Her voice turns sharp, her sweet smile twisting to something grotesque.
どうやらお前は自分が思うほど頭は良くないよ。私が何のためにここに来たと思ってる。
This time, it is Alva whose voice is dripping with open mockery.
だがお前は一つだけ正しいことを言った。お前なんか小に遠く及ばない。
Fuck you, Chilovek. Fuck you, go fuck yourself. Chilovek's expression shifts rapidly. Anger hurts. rage, before finally settling into a warped smile.
ああ、せっかくチャンスをあげようと思ったのに、あんたはそれをミスミスと。
She slams her hand against the observation window with a deafening bang.
残念だけど、今まで通りに扱わせてもらうね。メンタル攻撃から生き延びられても、物理的なダメージはどうだろうね。いつまでその生意気な態度でいられるかな。
A sick smile spreads across her face as she presses her face up close to the glass. Alva no longer hides her fury. She glares at Chilovek with open contempt and disgust.
ずっとだ。いつかお前たち、パラデウスとジラードが罪の代価を払うまで。特にお前はこの手で頭を引きちぎる。アンジを侮辱したことを後悔させてやる。
Chilovek guffaws as if she's just heard the funniest joke.
いやー、楽しみだよ、アルバちゃん。
Suddenly, red lights flash throughout the lab. Alarms flood the room. The smile freezes on Chilovek's face as she stares at Alva in disbelief.
何をした？
Alva answers her with a hint of a derision.
さあ、
Chilovek stands stunned for 3 seconds, then snaps out of it. She rushes back to the terminal, trying to initiate self-destruction, but the system rejects her again and again. Oh, let's fucking go! Oh, the music too!
同じ手は二度も通用しない。自決剤を持ってないのなら早く逃げるんだな。
用事を済ませたらまた遊び相手になってあげる。
She blows an exaggerated kiss, then turns and sachets, what are these words, out of the lab without looking back.
出番だよ、ボイマスティナ。
Alva closes her eyes. There is no panic, no hesitation, just calmness that seems out of place on a prisoner in enemy captivity. Her fingers twitch slightly, as if playing a silent melody. Meanwhile, deep beneath the Girard Group's facilities, Voimastina makes her final preparations within the labyrinthine sewer system. Oh, we are finally back to these two, huh? Voimastina is leaning against a damp wall. Before her floats a holographic projection of the Girard Group's underground complex. This is one of the things she prepared before Voimastina and Alva entered Living. Originally intended as a retreat plan, no one thought it would now be used for an assault. Voimastina is laden with carefully prepared tactical gear. Breaching tools, electronic jammers, spare magazines, and several compact EMP devices. Each has been checked and calibrated to ensure flawless performance. She finishes her third equipment check, shuts down the map, and stands upright. In a corner of the sewer, Elena keeps a clear distance from Voimastina. She crawls up a protruding pipe in the shadows, watching Voimastina's every move with vigilance. 3 metal spheres orbit her, ready to form a defensive array.
突入1分前。
Voimastina's voice is low and steady, though it's unclear who she's addressing. She inspects her assault rifle, making sure that every mechanical component is optimal. Then, seats the magazine in one smooth, silent motion. Elena watches her proficient handling of the weapon and instinctively shrinks back. The 3 metal spheres move at once. My voice failed again for a second there, forming a miniature protective barrier before her. Voimastina notices the movements but shows no emotional response. She simply continues her preparations, scanning the surroundings with wolf-eye and running self-diagnostics.
ルート確認完了。
Elena leans slightly forward, seemingly curious about Voimastina's muttering, but quickly withdraws when Voimastina looks up at her.
あいつ上にいる？
Look at my daughter, she's so cute. But what exactly is the plan here? Like, is Voimastina going to perform the assault at the same time as escorting Elena? It sounds a little bit way too risky for me, especially considering how key Elena's role is in Project Eden. Voimastina nods briefly. She takes a small device from her tactical pack. After a moment of hesitation, she sets it on the ground between herself and Elena, without moving closer.
ジャミング装置だ。いざという時に押せ。
Elena stares at the device but doesn't reach for it. One of her metal spheres glides over, lightly prods it as if checking for danger, and carefully carries it back to her. Voimastina watches calmly, offering no comment. Once Elena has it, she turns back to her own gear.
私とアルバ、そして彼女にはお互いにしかわからない発信機が取り付けられている。型は古く、受信範囲は2キロしかないが。
It is a key component of her Azalva's breach formation, and now the lifeline of this rescue mission. Elena listens, her wariness easing slightly, though she still keeps her distance.
あいつどうして逃げなかった？
The question catches Voimastina off guard. She pauses what she's doing and looks at Elena. Something subtle shifts in her eyes.
任務のため、お前のためだ。
The short, direct answer seems to wait on Elena. She lowers her head and murmurs softly.
あいつ私知らない。
Elena falls silent, as if pondering what Voimastina just told her.
あいつ助ける？
The question once again gives Voimastina pause. She meets Elena's gaze.
ああ、
本当？
Voimastina nods.
だがお前は一緒に来るな。
Oh, so she's not coming with her, I see. Still too risky though. But I guess this is the best that she can do in the current situation. Elena's eyes widen.
やだ。
ダメだ。
Voimastina shakes her head.
お前を守る余裕はない。
私強い。
Elena points at herself. Voimastina draws her broken combat knife and uses the snapped blades to carve a grotesque face into the ground.
あいつは強い。私よりも。
Elena looks down at the crude drawing. Even generously speaking, it's terrible, but she recognizes Igla all the same. Elena droops, dejected.
ここで待っていろ。アルバを助けたら迎えに来る。
Elena seems to remember something. The three metal spheres beside her begin to rotate slowly, emitting a faint hum. One of the spheres breaks formation and floats up in front of her. Elena reaches out with her small hand, gently cups the sphere, and offers it to Voimastina.
これあげる。守ってくれる。
My daughter is so sweet. Her tone is serious, resolute, like entrusting something precious. Voimastina freezes slightly as she looks at the sphere. She may not fully understand Elena's specific circumstances, but she knows the spheres are Elena's weapon, as well as her defense system. She wants to refuse. Elena needs it more. But seeing the expectant look in Elena's eyes, she finally relents and accepts it.
ありがとう。
The sphere feels cold in her hands, but the texture doesn't feel exactly metallic to her. Once the sphere comes into contact with Voimastina, it seems to gain awareness and floats up to hover at her side. Sorry, not hover, at her side. Elena nods with satisfaction. She steps back lightly, slightly, her eyes never leaving Voimastina. Voimastina rises to her full height and looks up towards the sewer exit once more. Her gaze sharpened, resolute, like a beast about to strike. She takes a deep breath and rolls her shoulders. Her joints crackle softly. She's ready. No one will stop her. Oh boy, here we go. She launches upwards like a battering ram, smashing through the metal grates in an instant. The entrance is torn open, and a shaft of bright light comes pouring down. The light falls on Elena, who has stayed behind on her own. She lifts her head slightly, waiting in silent obedience. Oh boy, this is it. This is it, the final confrontation. Just like what they have always done. Tubula Smaragdina. AA27. Go. Please give Shilovag a good beating. Please. At this point, I really want her to suffer. But something tells me she's not going to die here. I'm in. Telling over the security system plans now. Coordinates shared. Copy that. Wait for me. Oh, let's fucking go. I think I'm going to use only Voidmaster here. I know Voidmaster's skill and I wonder if she can end this in less than one turn. Let me see. Oh, here she goes. Oh, so many are already dead and the battle barely started. Oh, she's so awesome. AoE attack, AoE attack. You really think that puny attack can do something, don't you, huh? I'm gonna do a little bit of this. Then... oh, that's not how it works. Right. Right. Oh my god. Shit, not enough movement. It's fine. Use her ultimates on nothing. And then... done. Rapid, heavy footsteps echo through the empty corridor. If not for Alva's signaling guiding her, Voidmaster would never have discovered the secret Paradise laboratory hidden inside this glossy, immaculate building. She can't find, nor does she bother to look for, the switch to any hidden door. After confirming the location, she simply smashes through the wall with brute force, revealing the dark passage beyond. Elena's metal sphere follows closely behind it. It emits a beam of blue light to scan the passage for traps and surveillance devices. Then, it precisely fires several jamming pulses to cripple the electronics along the way. Oh my gosh. Oh man, it's always so cool to see Voidmaster in action. She really is just a juggernaut. After destroying the automated sentry turrets lining the corridor, she drives a powerful kick into the heavy metal door, standing at the far end, producing a deafening crash. Under the tremendous force, the metal door twists and caves inwards, nearly tearing the free from its frame. The hinges let out an agonized screech, like a cry of pain under unbearable strain. The breeze flies, dust fills the air. As the door finally collapses completely, Voidmaster's figures appear in the laboratory entrance like an unscalable mountain. She takes in the busy marionette doll researchers, the complex instruments and machinery, but in the end, her gaze settles on the specially designed hibernation capsule. Even without confirming the signal, she knows that Alva is in there. Ah, the music playing right now. This is the music from... it's not Mirror Stage, it's another one. Ah, fuck me, man. I can't remember the name of anything. Likewise, despite being trapped inside the capsule, Alva is aware of Voidmaster's arrival. Her voice, coming from within the capsule, sounds weak, utterly different from when she confronted Chilovek earlier. Weak but unmistakably clear. More importantly, there is an air of inevitability in her tone, as if everything has unfolded exactly as she calculated. The moment Boy Masna steps into the lab, the once busy marionette doll abruptly turns towards her in unison, their eyes glowing in terrifying red. Blades and firearms extend from hands once used for research with a whoosh. In the very next second, they all lunge at Boy Mastina together. At that instant, Elena's metal sphere deploys its full weapon system, transforming into a floating spherical turret. Precise energy beams fire from multiple angles, striking key points on several marionette dolls and opening a path for Boy Mastina. These dolls are even stronger than the guard outside. A blade hacks into Boy Mastina's frame, carving a deep wound. But Boy Mastina pays it no mind. She grabs one of them and yanks hard, tearing off the arm with a polymer vibration blade attached to it. Without a single pause, she swings the severed lamb like a weapon. The limb slams into another doll's head with tremendous force. Its skull explodes instantly, electronic components and oil spraying everywhere. Boy Mastina's movements are clean, decisive, and packed with raw power. In the next moment, he has already closed in on the remaining dolls. Weapons extended from their arms fire continuously. Bullets rain down on Boy Mastina, sending sparks flying violently across her frame. Yet, she seems unfazed, her steps never slowing. Oh man, it's always so cool to see her in action. Soon, the only figure remains standing in laboratory. Only one figure remains standing in the laboratory. She stands amid the wreckage, her body splattered with synthetic blood and machine oil. Strong as she may be, Boy Mastina is still covered in wounds. The metal sphere hovers at her side, scanning the remains on the floor, checking for any units that haven't been fully disabled. Ignoring the sphere, she strides straight towards the capsule holding Alva. She lifts her right arm and drives it straight into the metal hatch like a blade. Then, she hooks her thumb in and rips hard, tearing the capsule door right off. Alva sits quietly inside.
Alva. 大丈夫。全部計画通り。
Her voice is still soft, but her eyes are razor sharp and fully alert. Boy Mastina lowers her gaze to the cables and restrains binding Alva's frame. Having fought her way here with sheer violence, she now becomes careful and precise, slowly removing each restraint. Oh man, finally. Finally, these two were able to reunite after that, and thankfully Chilovek got out of the screen, although there is still a little bit of worry about what she might be doing right now. But nonetheless, the situation right now is significantly better than what it was from the beginning of all of this. It seems, at least. The torn cables still spark, silently testify to the torments Alva endures while in prison. Wires snap with crackling pops, sending sparks flying. Restraints tear loose with ripping hisses, falling to the floor. Soon, Alva is completely free. The moment she regains her freedom, she stands up on her own without waiting for Voimastens. No greetings, no visible relief. She just gently pushes Voimasten aside and walks straight towards the terminal at the center of the lab. Her objective is crystal clear, as if every step has long been planned. At this moment, Alva looks less like a rescued captive and more like an operative who has finally reached her target.
ヘレナは
Alva extracts an auxiliary digit from her hands, then draws a data cable from the back of her neck and plugs it directly onto the terminal. The motion is fluid, nothing like someone who has just survived an almost lethal Nero attack, and far more like a hunter finally lunging for her prey.
下水道だ置いてきた
Alva frowns slightly with some concern. Voimastna keeps her eyes on Alva, running rapid diagnostics with her wolf-eye. When she confirms there's no severe damage, the tension in her body eases almost imperceptibly.
あそこの方が安全だからな
Are you sure about that? Something tells me Something tells me something is going to happen to Elena right now. She then scans the room and locates the equipment stripped from Alva. Alva says nothing. Her eyes are already flashing once more with cascading green data streams.
それと通信機だ
Having retrieved Alva's gear, she moves to her side and re-equips everything piece by piece, as Alva focuses on copying data. At the same time, she points at the hovering metal sphere Elena gave her, indicating that it can serve as a communicator.
お前のメンタルは著しく損傷しているハッキングはリスクが高いでも時間がない今やらないと全てが無駄になる
Oh my god.
楽園計画の実態についても少し掴むことができたでもまだまだ情報が足りないそれとアンジェの人格データがパラデウスのデータベースに残されていた
Yeah, there's that also. I'm really worried now that they might bring Anje back from the dead as an Ito or something like that now in the future. It wouldn't be weird for them to do it. It is Paradise after all.
誰にもアンジェの眠りを邪魔させない
Alva doesn't turn her head. Even as Voimastna finishes helping her gear up, she remains fully focused on the terminal.
イグラが戻ってくる前にできるだけデータをダウンロードしないとやっぱり私たちはパラデウスについてあまりにも知らなすぎる侵入してからここにたどり着くまで2分42秒費やしたそろそろ敵が来るだろう今撤退しないと苦戦する分かってる
Alva doesn't waver. On the monitor before her, the data scroll mirrors her flashing eyes.
ここのデータを持ち出すことができれば素体が破壊されてもお釣りが来る分かった
Voimastna nods, no longer objecting. She heads towards the lab entrance that she has wrecked, crouches down, and begins setting traps. Alarms continue to wail throughout the lab and corridors. Amid flashing red lights and piercing sirens, Voy, Mastina, and Alba work in silence, swiftly assuming their respective roles. Even after completing every preparation she can, Voy Mastina says nothing more. She simply positions herself behind Alba and stands guard. She will protect Alba and fight for her decisions. In turn, Alba handles everything else, pointing Voy Mastina towards the path forward. Just as it always been.
次の目標を教えてください。
I just know Igla eventually is going to show up here again, and then they are going to have to deal with her. Hopefully, though, they are able to transfer this information to someone, preferably to the commander. Inside the laboratory, aside from the shrill alarm looping endlessly, the only sounds are the low hum of operating machinery and the soft tapping of Alva's fingers striking the keyboard. On the screen, a progress bar crawls forward at an agonizing pace, as if racing against time itself. Every second seems unbearably long.
"保証はできないけど努力するよ。この方法が通用するのも多分今回だけ。次捕まったらメンタルを直接破壊されるだろうね。
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
次があればな。
あなたがいるから大丈夫だよ。
ヘレナが待ってる。
終わったらすぐに迎えに行こう。
Alva's gaze is focused and intent. Even as she speaks to Voy Mastina, her eyes remain locked on the progress bar. Her fingers dance rapidly across the keyboard, as if playing an impassioned piece of music. Let me guess. Igla, probably. Suddenly, at this critical moment, a thunderous explosion erupts from outside the door. So loud it draws out even the blaring alarm. The laboratory walls shudder, as if struck by an earthquake. She's here. Alva's hands pause for less than half a second before calmly resuming their work. Unlike last time, Alva did not give Chiloveg a chance to self-destruct. He could not destroy the data in the computer or wipe the hard drives. There is far too much intelligence here that they need, including the true, detailed files of Project Eden. Voy Mastina raised her head. She gazes through the laboratory door, through the long corridor beyond, and into the distance. Oh, here we go. Voy Mastina says it calmly, as if stating something utterly trivial. She racks the bolt and grips a high-polymeter vibrating blade stripped from a marionette doll.
頑張って。
Alva does not turn around, but she feels the faint movement of air behind her. Dauntlessly, Voimasna's figure vanishes from the laboratory. Here she is. How is this going to play out? I don't think Voimasna is going to be able to win against Igla right here. She'll probably have to find a way to get away from here once Alva is done with her side of things. In the corridor, dust and smoke slowly disperse, revealing a graceful silhouette. Igla calmly strides through the wreckage left by the explosion. As though out for a leisurely stroll, her suit remains perfectly pressed. Her high heels click crisply against the rubble. Behind her follows a fully armed elite unit. Igla comes to a halt, lightly straightening her cuff. Her gaze settles ahead on Voimasna, who is standing like an unbreakable bulwark, blocking the way to the lab.
Oh.
Igla's voice is soft as velvet, yet carries undeniable force. She inclines her head slightly, as if greeting an old friend.
こんなところでお会いするとは意外ですね。ボイマスティナさん。
But after only a few steps, he stops once more. None of the guards behind her are human soldiers. All of them are marionette dolls directly under Igla's command, each personally selected and modified by her, capable of making short work of an ordinary tactical squad. Igla stands at the doorway, her gaze cold and sharp like a blade. And before her, on the road leading to the laboratory, the familiar figure blocks her path once again. This alone is reason enough for her to stop. Voimasna does not respond. She gently sets the assault rifle in her hands down against the wall, then retrieves two long blades from her waist, gripping one in each hand. After their previous clash, both she and Igla know full well that conventional firearms are meaningless against tactical dolls of their caliber. Igla watches Voimasna's movements, her lips curling into a smile.
その武器。なるほど。確かにそうですね。
He lifts a hand lightly, signaling the unit behind her to halt.
手出し無用です。
Igla steps forward, her movements fluid and elegant, like a ballerina taking center stage. Her right hand brushes the slender rapier at her waist. Her left draws the silver and gold pistol, only to return it to its holster a moment later.
私たちの対話に重火器は無粋。
She holsters the pistol and calmly draws the rapier from her waist. Under the lights, The blade gleams with a cold luster.
ようやく全体像を把握できました。
Her voice remains gentle, yet carries a peculiar note of admiration.
アルバさんの作戦には驚かされました。まさか私に捕まるのも計画のうちだった。
And the music's so nice. You can barely hear that the little chorus in the background, and it adds such an extra layer of. I don't even know how to explain grandiose the song.
結果的に彼女を機密に触れさせてしまった。アルバさんがデータを盗む間、あなたがそれを援護する。
Igla lightly flicks her rapier, tracing a graceful arc through the air.
その大胆さ、驚嘆に値します。反逆正体は確かにその名にたがわぬ精鋭ぞ。アルバさんには後ほど謝罪させていただきます。
Voimastina remains silent. She lowers her center of gravity slightly and shifts into an optimal combat stance. Her wolf eye is running at high speeds, analyzing Igla's every movement and possible lines of attack.
その沈黙、賛同と捉えてもよろしいですか？私たちは敵対する定めにありますが、あなたやアルバさんには敬意を表したいと思います。
Igla's tone is earnest, yet a dangerous glint flashes in her eyes.
しかし、職務は全うせねばなりません。あなた方を見逃すわけにはいきません。お嬢様やジラードグループの未来、そして楽園計画は何より優先されます。
She raises her rapier and points it at Voimastina menacingly.
データのダウンロード、あとどれくらいかかりそうですか？5分？それとも10分？
Igla studies Voimastina's reaction closely, though Voimastina remains utterly stoic and unresponsive.
なるほど。急がなければならないようですね。
She steps forward, the sound of her high heels striking the floor crisp and clear.
ボイマスティナさん、無礼をお許しください。そろそろ対話を切り上げさせていただきます。
無駄話が多い。
True. Voimastina finally speaks. Her comment brief and blunt. Igla lets out a soft chuckle. The warmth in her eyes vanishes, replaced by icy focus.
では、言葉ではなく行動で示しましょう。
She bends her knees and assumes the on guard position in fencing.
アルバさんを全力で阻止させていただきます。
Watch me kill her in just one turn. Sorry, not one turn. In just one attack. Since these enemies right now are very low level. Oh, never mind, she survived that. Oh man, let's go. Let's go. Oh, she's going to survive that too. I'm impressive, honestly. For a low level enemy. Oh, never mind. And she's dead. Now, clean up the trash. Go here. Kill that guy. Dead. 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 Easy. The clash of metal on metal echoes through the empty corridor like a piece of meticulously composed music. Every thrust of Igla's blade is gracefully and dazzling, as though she's dancing a waltz rather than fighting for her life. Her rapier traces perfect arcs through the air. Though her movements are filled with flourishes, each strike is measured to the millimeter, leaving no opening at all. Voin Masna answered with steady, precise blocks. The twin blades in her hands become extensions of her body, every motion stripped of excess, just like her personality. The battle between two top-tier tactical dolls has long surpassed the bounds of ordinary combat, resembling an intense performance instead. Igla's voice remains mild and velvety, yet every word carries a razor-sharp killing intent. She speaks even as she threads her attack through nearly impossible angles, the rapier seeming almost alive as it hunts for the teeniest gap in Voin Mastina's defense. Man, she really loves to talk, doesn't she? Her high heels strike the floor in an elegant rhythm, each step part of a dance, yet each step carrying little threats. Voin Mastina does not respond. All her attention is focused on the fight. Her body is already covered in wounds. Her combat suit is slashed open in several places, exposing synthetic components beneath and the seep of biomimetic blood. Even so, her movements remain precise and efficient, without the slightest hesitation or retreat. No sooner does Igla finish speaking than she abruptly accelerates her assault. The rapier leaves after images in the air, every strike viciously angled at points that are hardest for Voin Mastina to defend. At the same time, the few remaining marionette dolls behind her join the fray, attempting to break through Voin Mastina's defenses from the flanks. Voin Mastina's wolf eye slashes. In the next instant, she twists her body at an almost impossible angle, narrowly evading Igla's deadliest thrust. Simultaneously, her long blades sweep sideways, cleaving a charging marionette doll cleanly in half. Oh, shut up. Igla inclines her head slightly in genuine admiration. As if to validate her words, the long blade in Voin Mastina's left hand emits an ominous sound of metal fatigue during the next block. With a sharp crack, the blade snaps in two. The broken edge spins away and embeds itself into the wall. Voimasna glances expressionlessly at the broken weapon in her hand, then casually discards it and grips the remaining blade with both hands. Her stance grows slightly constrained, but her gaze remains as firm as ever, without the slightest hint of retreat.
武器の損耗はそのまま形勢を表します。
Igla twirls her blade in a flourish, its cold sheen flashing beneath the light. Her posture is unhurried, as though she holds complete control over the battle.
あなたにも責務はあると思います。引き際は肝心ですよ。
残りはお前だけだ。
Voimasna answers calmly. Her gaze sweeps down the corridor. The marionette doll unit under Igla's command has been almost entirely annihilated, leaving only a few that are barely able to move.
戦績の自慢です。
Igla smiles faintly, her eyes sharpening further.
ですが、ダミーを倒しただけで有頂天になってもらっては困ります。あなたを倒し、アルバさんの元へ向かいます。そしてあなたにはデータベースの一部になっていただきましょう。
Voimasna eyes Igla.
確かにお前は強い。私のようにな。
Igla quirks an eyebrow, a flicker of surprise crossing her eyes.
これはまた独特な自己評価軸ですね。
ショーが私を作った時、私より強い人形はいなかった。お前の性格は最悪だが、私も同じだ。
Voimasna's words are calm and definitive, not boastful. He is merely stating facts.
面白い。私たちが似ているところ。
A trace of wariness flashes in Igla's eyes as she suddenly adjusts her stance, preparing for the next exchange.
いや、忠告だ。
Voimasna lifts a hand to her head and rolls her neck.
最強の人形という肩書きを外した自分に何が残るのか。
Before she gets to the end of the sentence, Voimasna suddenly drops low to evade Igla's thrust at an unbelievable angle. The cold glint of the rapier skims just above her head, severing a few strands of hair.
考えるんだな。
ご忠告感謝します。ですが、的外れと言わざるを得ません。
Igla's voice remains calm, but an icy edge creeps into her tone. Her movement suddenly accelerates, the rapier transforms into a curtain of silver light that assaults Voimasna from every direction.
私の存在意義は強さではなく、お嬢様への忠誠です。あなたには理解できないと思います。
Oh, you really think so, Igla? Voimasna strains to block the relentless barrage. Flying cracks spread along her remaining blades. Her movements begin to slow slightly, yet her eyes remain keen as ever. At that moment, a burst of precise gunfire rings out from the far end of the corridor. The bullets travel along nearly impossible trajectories. Through the complex environment, aim straight at the Igla's vitals. Igla reacts instantly. Her rapier arcs flawlessly through the air, knocking the bullets aside with ringing clank except for one. A single round pierces her shoulder, punching a hole through her pristine suit. Igla's movement falters for an instant. Disbelief flashes across her eyes before hardening into icy fury.
買い物で的確な射撃です。ボイマスチナ、避けて。
Oh, there we go! Alpha's voice rings out from the end of the corridor, clear and resolute. She stands at a perfect firing position, posture ready, muzzle trained directly on Igla. Without the slightest hesitation, Voimasna turns and sprints down the corridor at extraordinary speed.
させません。
Igla is about to give chase when she notices Alpha's muzzle dips slightly, revealing several small devices on the ground, blinking with red lights. Roll.
今だ。
And they escape again. Probably. A chain of explosions erupt, instantly turning the corridor into an inferno. Smoke, debris, and shattered concrete surge from all sides, engulfing Igla in the ruin.
無粋な。
From within the dust comes Igla's cold, restrained voice. With a thunderous crash, piled up rubble is hurled aside by immense force, and her figure slowly emerges. Her suit is coated in dust, her flawless hair slightly disheveled, yet her posture remains immaculate, her murderous gaze sharper than ever. However, when the smoke finally clears, Alva and Voimasna are already gone, vanished around the bends of the corridor.
見事なコンビネーションです。
Igla calmly dusts off her suit and straightens her cuffs. Her movements are unhurried, as though the explosion moments ago was nothing more than a trivial mishap. She touches the communicator at her ear, her voice cold and composed.
総員、限界態勢。目標逃走中。絶対に逃がしてはなりません。施設全体を封鎖してください。
She smoothed the wrinkles from her suit, her gaze sharpening like a blade.
お嬢様の夕食まで型をつけます。次の目標を教えてください。
Oh my god. That was really cool. That was really... Oh, yeah. Here we go. Yeah, the portrait. A flare of light that cuts across the sky. Voimasna is the strongest doll in the world. Oh my god. Alright, okay. Last one. And finally, I will end this part. What? Miracles and the work of mortal hands. Homunculus. AS26. Man, I hope nothing happened to Elena. She has been in a very exposed position, let's put it like that. In the sewers, being guarded by only 2 of her 3 spheres. Also, there has been no sign of Chillabeg since she disappeared over there, so I am a little worried right now about Elena's condition. In a luxurious suite, Zimmerman stands before the full-height window, looking down at the nightscape of Livy. His fingers drum the window frame lightly, his eyes flashing with apparent anxiety. After a moment's hesitation, he walks over to the sofa and sits down, then produces a specially modified encrypted communicator from his inner pocket. He enters a long, complex password and dials a number. The call connects almost instantly.
シルロビーさん、これはどういうことですか？
Oh my god, no, 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 I don't want to see Chiloveg on the screen again, for fuck's sake, can this bitch die already? I really hope she's not going to appear saying that she got a land or something like that. But something tells me that's exactly what's going to happen.
おお、いい先生じゃん。何のことかな。
Chiloveg's teasing voice comes through the communicator, light and buoyant, as if she's letting him in on some inside joke.
おとぼけはなしでお願いします。私は今、冷静に話せる自信はありません。
怖いな。ちょっと手伝ってあげようと思っただけじゃん。
Maybe Chiloveg. No, 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 she isn't. She deserves to die. Her drawl is playful, yet carries a pointed undercurrent.
手伝い？私が動く前に目標の一人を研究所から遠ざけたことがですが。
Worse.
ジャジャ馬のオルフェルーネよりあの第三世代人形こそ最優先で始末すべきだ。
But Chiu is in her name. Her name fucking sucks. The line suddenly goes quiet. Only Chiloveg's faint breathing can be heard.
私に楽園計画への投資をすると申し出たのはあなたです。良い関係を築けたと思ったのですが、恩を仇で返すとは。
で、作戦は成功したの？
何？失敗を招いた張本人がどの口で？
じゃあオルフェルーネはまだ生きてるんだ。
Are you ending stream soon? Yeah, this is the last stage. After this, I'm over with this part, and I'm probably going to end the stream just in a few minutes after that. This should take around, like, I don't know, 10 minutes? 15? 20? Something like that. Zimmerman is suddenly at a loss for words. On the other end comes an intentionally exaggerated peal of laughter.
イグラがいなかったのに世間知らずのお嬢様一人殺せなかったんだ。
Chiloveg's voice suddenly turned sharp, like a blade scraping across glass.
じゃあイグラがいたらあんたの手下は全員ミンチになってたよね。
Boo, bad stream. Oh, shut up. You should play. No, no, no. I'm not gonna play the G word game.
なのに私がイグラを引き離したことを責めるわけ？バカじゃないの？
Goat Simulator. Zimmerman is left speechless by the barrage of insults. After venting her anger, Chiloveg smoothly slips back into her usual teasing tone.
せっかく時間を稼いであげたんだから、ちゃんと有効利用しようね。いい先生。私に付きまとう暇があったら、失敗した原因を探った方がいいんじゃない？
Chiloveg's voice suddenly drops into a soft whisper, which sounds more menacing than any shout. Zimmerman is an interesting name. You think so?
それは
ジラードはもう泥船も同然だからあんたに接触したあんたは投資してるんじゃなくて投資させてもらってるの立場をわきまえてね私たちの信頼に応えてほしいなじゃないとどうなるかわからないよ私は気まぐれだからね
I want her to die so bad. I want her to die so bad. The call cuts off abruptly, leaving only a burst of harsh static. Zimmerman stares at the communicator, his expression unbreathable. He takes a deep breath, slips it back into his inner pockets, and sinks into thought. With ample personnel and combat resources, attacking a research institute located in the White Zone should have been effortless. So, why did the mission fail? Could someone have been obstructing his actions all along? A firm knock at the door interrupts Zimmerman's thought. Without waiting for a response, the door opens on its own. A tall man in military uniform strides inside. Who's this? Who is this? Zimmerman is about to erupt, but when he recognizes the man, he swallows his anger at once and puts on the flawless professional smile from his campaign posters. The soldier's tone is level and detached, devoid of any real apology and more a statement of fact.
副部長とイベントに出席されたはずじゃ。
I mean, it's an unusual name, or I just haven't heard anyone of that name. Oh, no, it might. I mean, I don't know either, if it's a common name or not. To me, it sounds more like not a first name, it sounds more like a last name of someone. There might have been people called Zimmerman. It doesn't sound like a made-up name to me at the very least. Zimmerman. Yeah, there was a name. Yeah, it is a last name. There was a guy called George Michael Zimmerman. There's also a few companies with the name Zimmerman. Oh, let me see what the Wikipedia says. Zimmerman is a German occupational surname for a carpenter. The modern German terms for the occupation of carpenter are Zimmerer. I can pronounce German, but Zimmerman is still used. Yeah, it is a common name then. For the German people at least. Zipperman, Shimmerman, Shimia. Oh, shut up. Moving on.
その副部長の命令で参りました。いい、もう時間は残りわずかです。ジェラードグループは風前の灯火ですが、賭けに出る資本が残されています。明日の実験が順調に進めば、楽園計画によって影響力を取り戻すことでしょう。あなたは大変聡明な方です。ロレン政府及び軍内部にも多くの支持者がいます。しかし 今回の件でファルベングループが誠意を示すことができなければ、この関係を見直す必要があるかもしれません。そのつもりで。
わかりました。
There's always someone else behind the curtains, huh? Zimmerman finally mutters a reply. The confidence in his voice clearly replaced by distress.
明日までにあの第三世代人形をお届けいたします。
Oh, I see. Yeah, Orphelin did mention during her interaction with Zimmerman how keen Zimmerman seems to ouch Igla from the authority of the Girard group. I see, so he wanted to give her to the militaries. Probably for them to study her and mass produce. Since third gem doll technology is a patent exclusive of the Girard group. I see. The officer nods and turns to leave the room without another word. Once the door closes, Zimmerman's smile vanishes instantly, his face twisting into a grotesque expression. He snatches up a nearby wine glass and hurls it violently against the wall. At least no bad news about Elena so far. I had to open my mouth. Please, please, please don't tell me I jinx it. Chiloveg ends the call and looks at the small figure behind her. She has Elena, doesn't she?
おかえり、お花ちゃん。
Man. Zimmerman's not happy. I'm not happy either at this moment. Peter in his big mouth. Yeah. Yeah. I want Chiloveg dead so bad. Elena trembles uncontrollably as she stares wide-eyed at the woman before her. She tries to make the floating spheres protect her, but they aren't responding at all.
あれ、誰がこれをあんたにあげたのか忘れたのかな。
Chiloveg produces a button and presses it slightly. The spheres immediately dim and drop lifelessly to the ground.
節郎さんには一本取られたけど、こっちにはまだ切り札がある。
God fucking damn it.
そのおかげであんたを見つけられたんだよね。
I knew something like that would happen, but still. Elena's voice is barely a whisper, but Chiloveg can still make out her words. Someone will come to save me.
誰が？あの二人の人形？
Chiloveg burst into laughter.
あいつらは自分たちを優先してあんたをくっさい下水道に置いてったんだよ。なのにまだ信じてるんだ。はっ、ウケる。あんたがそんなに大事なら今ここにあんたがいるのはおかしいよね。それにイグラも怒らせちゃったし。 今頃ズタボロにされてるんじゃないかな。まあそんなことは置いといて、さあ役目を果たす時間だよ。あんたはこのために生まれたんだから。
I hate this bitch so much.
準備に取り掛からないと。
Faced with this absurd and bizarre woman, Elena's body continues to shake uncontrollably, but her fear doesn't last long. Because her consciousness soon succumbs to darkness. Fucking damn it. I mean, I knew something like this would happen. The moment that I heard that Voimastina was planning to start an assault against the Paradils, against the research lab, this outcome could happen eventually. It's just... Oh, God fucking damn it, I hate Chiloveg. I really want her fucking dad to... It was a good story. The story so far has been really good. And I kinda curious about the last final parts of this event. Because from what I have seen about comments of people throughout the various platforms, they say it's fucking peak. They say it's peak GFL2 lore. And I'm really curious to see about that. But yeah, but that is only going to happen next week after Wuthering Waves. Tomorrow, no stream. On Friday, there's going to be no stream either. I only return on Saturday to do the main story quest, the newest main story quest of Wuthering Waves. And then, once I'm done with that, I will return to GFL2 to do Corposant Part 2, the last part of the story. Which is what I'm looking right now, it seems very long. I hope I will have enough time to do everything. See you next year. No, just next week. Next week. So, thank you Online Resident for showing up on the stream, and thank you for anyone else who might have lurked throughout it. So, with everything said, see you on Saturday, maybe, for Wuthering Waves. With everything said, 5, not next year, it's next week, something who 4, 3, 2, 1.